Hello, my name is Aprille Walker and welcome to the Yoga Ranger Studio. Today's practice is going to be focused entirely on helping you get a little bit of sleep. So if you are someone who deals with regular insomnia, chronic insomnia, or someone who deals with it intermittently, like myself, it could be caused by a million different things. So it's very hard to pinpoint what causes insomnia. For some people, it's stress, something happening in their life, a life change. For some people, it's the cycles of the moon. For me, it is the full moon and the new moon, those days right around it. For some, it may be medications you're taking, an illness that you have, or something just hormonally imbalanced in your body. So a lot of different things. But while I can't actually cure your insomnia, I might be able to help you get some rest physically and emotionally and mentally. So this restorative class is to help you sort of soften and release, perhaps allowing your body to just relax a little bit more and help restore and heal, even if you can't sleep. So a great practice to do if you know you have insomnia at certain times of the month, or if you are dealing with insomnia on a chronic basis. So a few props to have, and you can use some things around the house as well. A couple of blankets, or if you're laying on a soft floor, that's okay. In restorative, I always suggest that you use as many props as you possibly can to give yourself that support and comfort that you might need. An extra blanket to use for a couple of our poses. A bolster. If you don't have a bolster, don't worry. You can use a couple of pillows off your bed or off your couch. You can also use beach towels and a block. So if you don't have a block, a couple of books will work just as well, or you don't even have to have the block for this first pose. So we're going to start in one of the favorite poses for restorative yogis. This is Supta Baddha Konasana, which is supine bound angle with a little bit of support. So we're going to take our second blanket or beach towel and just roll it up long-wise. So you have a nice long tube here. Come down and settle yourself near your bolster. Whew. Too much stuff around me, right? Bring the bottoms of the feet together, and you're going to wrap that blanket around the outside edge and kind of pull it in so that you have some support on the outside of your hips and you have your feet covered up a little bit. So that can be closer or further depending on you. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath, lengthen through your neck, and just relax. So the average person takes about 15 minutes to unwind and relax and release. If you have a cat, it's probably faster. And so be patient with yourself. Know that if you're someone who is struggling with insomnia or getting to sleep or staying asleep, that sometimes you just need to have a little bit of patience. Allow yourself to wind down. So starting with our breath here, and let you breathe however you want through the rest of the practice. But just to start here, breathe into your belly, chest, and collarbones, taking that 3-part breath. Filling your lungs all the way up and then exhaling it all out. Even pulling back a little bit at the bottom of the exhale through the belly button to help expel all that remainder of air. Inhale up and exhale it all out. If you had a particularly exhausting day, you can inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth with a sigh. A couple more times here. Inhale deeply. Exhale with a sigh. And last time, inhale. And exhale. And let your breath be whatever it needs to be here. The goal of restorative yoga is to allow the pose to do what the pose does without any effort on your part. So that's why we use so many supports to help you feel supported and grounded and safe and comfortable. No effort, just relax. Maybe make fists with your hands and then release that tension out of the hands. And always at the beginning of your practice, you will feel still a little bit of that tension, that little bit wound up. Here again, compassion and patience for yourself. Give your body time to unwind. Just one more minute here. In restorative, we hold these poses much longer in order to allow the body to rest and the pose to do its work. Sense your body settling into the props. Gently take your hands to the outside of your knees. Press those knees together and stretch your legs out straight for a few breaths here. And slowly bend your knees, take your feet flat, take your hands behind you and kind of press up to center. Our next pose we're going to take is a belly bolster pose. This is one of my all-time favorite poses. Now you can use the block at the head if you want to, and or the blanket on top of that if you like to. I find that I usually just want a blanket to give me a little support on the other side. But you're going to pull the bolster pillows across. You're going to lay your belly on right from where the hip bones come together, up a little bit higher. And then you can rest your forehead on your hands or on the block or blanket. Let your feet walk wide. Let your toes turn in or out, your heels in or out. And find length here, so get yourself comfortable to start with. many people, sleeplessness is also related to digestion. So if you have digestive issues or are struggling, then some soft, gentle compression on the belly area can help release that tension. Also helps release the tension in the lower back. So if you feel your hips shifting a little bit, that's your lower back releasing some. Here, allow your breath to be your guide and let it soothe you and calm you. Maybe extending your exhale a little bit longer than your inhale. Just about one more minute here. Slowly start to lift your head, walk your hands underneath, and press yourself back. Our next pose is going to be child's pose with some support. So taking our block back the way it was, bolster or pillow right back up on there. I find that I like to have a little bit more padding at the base of my pillow. So I add another pad here. You're going to take your knees wide, big toes together, and I like to put that blanket right in between the hip flexor, this hip area, and my belly, and just lower myself down. So you can turn your head to the left or to the right. I will cue you as to when to turn to the opposite side. Go ahead and walk your hands out, shift your hips back, and lower all the way down. Forward folds can help us settle and soften, helping turn our minds inward and maybe turn off all the activity of the day that may be keeping us awake, allowing us to rest and sleep and recover and heal. Gently lift up just a little bit and turn your head to the opposite side. Rest yourself back down. Just about one more minute here. Gently start to press back up to center. Look straight down at your bolster for a breath or two to allow your neck to come back into line. And walking your hands all the way up. Taking that second blanket off to the side. Leaning back and sitting down, taking those feet wide. So they don't have to be super wide. They can be somewhat wide. I'm going to offer you a couple of options here. Now you can take this blanket for our wide forward fold or this bolster and stack it up where you reach around and rest your forehead down, or you can turn it around where you can rest your forehead here. I find that for me, using the block to kind of get it a little bit closer feels better for me. Remember, you're not really worried about folding forward a lot. This is restorative, so you can bend your knees and just rest your forehead on the bolster, wrap your arms around it. Allow your shoulders to soften, your breath to sort of massage out all of the day's tension and worry and stress. You're again remembering to allow this pose to do all the work for you. Just resting your forehead on whatever part of the bolster works best for you. You could even do this with your head against a chair if that felt better. Just about one more minute here. Gently start to lift your head back up Press yourself back up. Take that bolster a little bit off to the side. Our block is going to go out of the way. Reach inside your knees and pull those knees back into alignment here. I'm going to take our second blanket. We're going to just roll it up. This is going to be for our head. We're going to take a side lying Shavasana. This is a really restful position to be in. I'm going to take it on the left side, which is the side that is easiest for your body to go to sleep and probably best for your organ system and your heart. So take your legs straight. You're going to bring that bolster in and move it down just a little bit. Take your right leg on top of it. Left arm goes out to the left. Now here you can either just rest that hand there, or if you wanted to pull the bolster up higher, we could rest your hand on it. You could do that as well. I find that resting my hand on top of the other hand or next to me is fine. Set it up so your head has some support. And just relax. So other than on your back, this is the most healthy way to sleep. So if you sleep on your left side, you're probably sleeping the best way possible other than on your back. It's the way that your heart and body is made. Circulation works best this way, and digestion works best if you were sleeping on your left side. So if you are struggling to sleep, perhaps laying on your left side will be helpful. Close your eyes and settle into your breath here. Keep breathing out through the body, allowing the tension to just disappear, feeling the support of the ground beneath you and your props. Allowing your breath to soften and lengthen naturally. Just about 2 more minutes here. I will leave you here resting in this pose for as long as you possibly feel you need it. And if you feel comfortable enough here to fall asleep, fall asleep. At least get some good rest. I wish you well, and I wish you some good rest and sleep. I hope to see you again soon. Have a great night.